what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Teen Nerd Herd podcast, where our best advice here is if you want to do it right, collect what you like. But today for FANime Talks, you know how it goes. If you want to do it right, anime for life. And we're going to be covering part 3 of Blade of the Immortal, you guys. This one was a doozy. A lot going on. It was just very action-packed. But before we get into that, I want to say what's up to my man, Hip Hop's in me. What's going on, Steve?
What's going on, brother? What's going on? How's it going? Back at it.
That's right.
Back in the mix, and glad to be back, bro. I came in at the best part of Blade of the Immortal from what you and I have been talking about, and I can't wait, man. I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, it's
so
good.
Without further ado, man, I'm going to shoot it back onto you, man. Give us a little intro. Well, before we get the intro, but let's give us a little welcoming.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I was looking forward to seeing how you were doing in Vegas, man. I mean, did you come up a little bit or what?
Nah, Lady Luck just slapped me on the ass and sent me out with less money. She's like, and she was like, bare assed and all, like a newborn baby, just out Sin City. You know, just saddened. But that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and holler at the Team Nerd Herd moderators.
Yeah. Let's get
What's cracking to brother number 1, Rudy Santi, brother number 2, Something Wong, and brother number 3, D-Anime Etc., D-Anime Etc., Senpai. You know they're in the mix, and you know they're with us. Much love to both of them, man. D-Anime is going to be coming on Thursday, I believe.
There you go.
So be on the lookout for that. And then much love to the resident DJs, DJ Abomination and Plainclothes D, my man Darian Body. And then let's go ahead and run it down on the group chat. Group chat, man. The herd chat. Brother Rudy, he was first, man. You got Glenn 2K12, brother Glenn Horror Hermano. Man, you got D-Anime, Etc., just moving and shaking. Bam.
Right, baby.
Like a ninja. Oh, we got the Bleeding Star, man. Bleeding Star, greetings to you, my brother. Thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate y'all. Let's see what we got. Right, champ. Let's see.
Right.
Oh man, there's conversations going on. That's what I like about the herd chat, man. They just, you know, like, oh, there's Comics and Pops, my brother Alonzo. Something Wong up in the building. And we got Raging Cajun Comics, man. My brother. Yeah, JD, man. If you guys missed the rewind on yesterday's shows, get you the rewind on Raging Cajun's show with brother Alonzo, man. Alonzo had mad things to show, man. He just was, there was a plethora of things. And also, if you guys missed Eats Meets West, you guys missed You Promised Me Comics, my man Sparks. I'll see right there talking about East Meets West Comics.
There we go,
Broski Joker. So get you the rewind on yesterday's show as well, man. I love their shows, man. I love the breakdowns. And then you had those those covers that they were breaking down were beautiful, man. I was just like every last one of them. So shout out to my man Joker. Much love, my brother. And I think with that being said, Eric, I think we are all caught up.
I think so, man.
I think get into the meat and potatoes of the anime that we know as Blade of the Immortal.
That's right, man. Let's do it. So from where we left off, the story opens up with Magatsu. He gets you see him basically confronted with the massacre of just people. And he's trying to figure out exactly, you know, like who's to the bottom of this. And he ends up hearing that the murmurs of the assassination that happened on his life, how the last words that were Agaki, that they were able to get out. And he finally finds out that the culprit of this person is the leader of the Mugai Ryu, a man named Habaki. He is also an officer, you know, for the Shogunate, and he's kind of running this kind of separate operation for the Shogun to just kind of get rid of the Itsuryu. And the members that he has were Shira, who we got you know, dealt with at the last couple of episodes before, and some other very strong ninjas Hikaruin, and Gichi. And so we get to see these members actually talking to Habaki, and he's basically going to disband this group right now. And he's basically telling one of his top guys, Gichi, what I want you to do is I want you to bring me, this man, this immortal man, Manji. And he's like, okay, he's like, I'll see what I could do. He's like, and then after this, basically you're going to be kind of cut off. Right. And he's saying, I'll give you some money to kind of like send you off, but what are you going to do with that afterwards? What's up, Anthony? Greetings,
Correct.
sir. And he says, that he wants to buy Hikakurin. There you go, Hikakurin. He wants to buy her freedom, and he's like, you shouldn't waste your time with this woman, even though that's basically one of his own members. And so Gichi goes off. He goes to find Manji, and he's talking to him, and he's saying, basically, we want to kind of recruit you in here. Because our leader just basically has an interest in you. And he's just like, well, Manji, with the way his style is, he's just like, nobody just wants a meeting with me, So first he goes and he kind of has Gichi kind of speak for Habaki, and they battle it out. And Gichi is just one of those guys. He's just a smooth operator, man. I mean, just the way his weapon style, how he's able to fight, he's just really dope. And unfortunately, though, even though he's getting some good licks on Manji is just still a little bit too much for him. And he's able to kind of like win this fight, but he doesn't kill Gichi. And what he wants to do is he's like, I will agree to this meeting. He's like, but only because I want to see and meet the man who actually gives you orders. Because if he gives you orders, he's supposed to be top dog, better than you are. So I want to see this. That's right, and so in doing so, he tells Rin, that he's going to go off to this manor. And he says he'll be back be back soon kind of deal. And, kind of Manji just kind of easy going and just come and goes like the wind. And so taking that, we get to see what's going on in this meeting with Manji and Habaki. And Habaki is just asking him questions about his body. And Manji is just being like that unwelcome guest. Like, y'all don't even offer me, some drink and stuff, sometimes overboard, but I do truly appreciate. Yeah, no problem, man. And so Habaki wastes no time in basically letting his sword kind of find out exactly what Manji's body is capable of doing. And he stabs Manji right in the heart, quick draw McGraw style. And that's right. And Manji, he's pissed, he's just like, you brought me here to do this, like you're in for it. He's like, well, that is one thing, but it's not all of the reason why I want to see. I want to put you through the test. And so he, uncovers, his little bamboo door, and he's got a bunch of men just ready to take on Manji. And basically their strength in numbers, so they do overpower him, and they hold him captive. And Rin goes to the manor, and they are tricking Rin, and they're saying, you know what, like, he actually left about a half an hour ago. And so she's curious and wondering, like, this is very unlike him. He just wouldn't do something like that. So she goes to one of the only places that she just feels like she can go to, and she returns to her home where her parents were murdered, and so that brings us into the next episode. And Habaki brings in a doctor to basically do a bunch, just to experiment on Manji's body. And I feel like the next couple of episodes that we're going to go through is just very heavily focused on this experimentation. What's up, Binja? Now you're right on time, girl. And so as like the story kind of progresses on, it really pays close attention to what this doctor is about. And a very sincere guy. You know, he truly is astonished and in awe of what Manji's body is actually capable of doing. And so what Habaki wants to do is replicate this. It's not a fine story. Yep.
Sorry.
He wants to replicate. No, you're good, dude. He wants to replicate Manji's body to basically, you know, have warriors that are just immortal, you know, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind injecting himself with some of them bloodworms, you know, to get himself a taste, right? And
That's
so,
right.
and so the doctor just has one like major kind of success with the guy who is kind of a cellmate with Manji, and to Habaki just is starting to grab like criminals, you know, like from prisons or, you know, just kind of men from within the village. And so just so that they could get more, you know, test subjects to, you know, kind of operate on should Diwanosuke is the cellmate that Manji is with, just in case he doesn't survive it. The doctor is getting a lot of success. And the doctor is slowly, you know, cutting off exchanging limbs. And Manji is able to, you know, use another person's hand as his own. The other guy, Diwanosuke, he is able to do that. He's able to, the success is that the limbs are starting to work. Blood flow, you know, cuts and stuff like that on limbs are actually starting to regenerate. However, because Diwanosuke's body is not 100% like Manji's, it takes a lot of energy out of him. It takes him days to recover. And so through their experimentations, like Diwanosuke kind of like feels for Manji, and he's just like, you know, like they're basically giving him his own reasons as to why he is this test subject. And he gives like Manji like a little parting gift, which is like a, you know, a little hairpin, you know, like that was from his wife that he is hoping to go back to. And through the experiments, Habaki says, okay, I've given you the proper amount of days. I want to see what you have to show for it. And so he demonstrates by cutting a little bit of Diwanosuke's hand, and he sees it regenerating. And Habaki is still not convinced. And he's like, just because this regenerates does not mean that he's immortal. He's like, I want to put it to the test. And so the doctor wants to stop him because he knows that Habaki is just going to go for the fatal blow and go straight for the heart. And so what's up tomorrow? And so through kind of like, you know, Habaki basically says, you know, if you're so adamant on fighting for this guy's life instead of proving your experiments to be true, you know, then like I might as well go and get somebody else, you know? And so the doctor is trying to be confident in this. Oh man, it's a lot of note taking, Glenn, baby, you know, maybe watch once or twice. But the doctor feels it within himself and he says, okay, he says, go ahead and do it. And so Habaki goes in for the blow, and unfortunately Diwanosuke dies. Again, his body is just not tailor-made for the bloodworm, you know, as how Manji is. And so the doctor, with all sincerity, actually had good intentions of hoping that he would survive this. And this, as a doctor, really does break him because he has that attachment to, you know, to his patients. And so you kind of hear a narrative of Habaki basically just kind of verbally bullying, you know, the doctor, and the doctor just hears this over and over, and he just snaps and he cracks, you guys, and he just becomes that mad, detached doctor that says, okay, you guys, bring in this by the boatloads, you know, and bring in these bodies because I'm ready to get at this and make sure that this works. Now he's determined and quite sadistic. And so he, after experiment, you know, just flooding dead bodies, you know, in and out of this kind of underground, you know, yes, this underground shed that Habaki has underneath his manor. You know, the villagers on the outside are starting to worry as well. You know, and then we get a little bit of some pan outs of what Rin's kind of up to in between all of this. And while she's at her house, she gets, some unknown visitors at the door. And these two, it's a child, a little girl, and a tall guy. And they're shocked that somebody is even there. And so they kind of go on the offensive. And the young girl is the one who's actually more of the fighter. And she goes to attack Rin, and the man calls her off and says, like, she didn't mean any harm. Like, we were just kind of startled. We weren't expecting anybody here, And so what we later on find out, or what Rin is later to find out, is that these two members are actually members of Itaryu. So they are with Anatsu and Magatsu. They're all in this particular group. These are newer members, it seems as though, from what Rin's days with Prime. And so Anatsu had gathered what remaining members he had and basically told them to disperse, and they're going to resurface in the winter. He burns down their HQ. And the doctor part is he's brutal, Bleeding Star, brutal. And so what happens is as the group is disbanded, they burn down their headquarters, and they all just kind of spread out. And so these two members, and we later on to find out their name is Izaku and Do. Do is the girl, and Izaku is the boy, or the man, the big burly man. And he's kind of like her bodyguard, except she don't really need guarding. She's with the quickness, and she's a fighter. And so we get to see a little bit of how their interaction is. And Rin goes out from her house and is basically trying to seek help to see what she could find out from Manji's whereabouts. And so she goes to now an ex-member of the Muge Ryu, which is a girl. She was the only female in there, and they kind of had a little bit of friendship, if you will, in the past. And so she asks her for some help. She says, you know what, you got to go find Gichi. Gichi would probably have a little bit more information for you. And so he does, and he's basically tells her, like, this is where he is. It's gonna take a lot for you guys to even get in there. And so we kind of continue on with the doctor's experimentations, you guys, and this just ends up leading us further into episode now 15. We got constant surgeries going on, and Manji's just being run through the gamut. His body can only take so much, even though he's immortal, but like, who wants to be cut up, diced up and whatnot, so it's just further enraging him. And so what Habaki ends up doing, what's going on? Choo, sis, you. What's going on, Papa?
Papa.
Yeah, what's up, dude? And so as things just kind of continue on, the doctor, Habaki brings in two like kind of skillful warriors. One of them goes by the name of Asa, the beheader, and this other larger man that's kind of like his bodyguard as well. And at first glance, you kind of think that the big dude, because he's got swords galore on him, and you think he's the beheader, and it's actually this little midget looking dude. Te amo.
Yeah. Te amo.
Yeah.
That's good, Papa.
You actually think that the larger guy is Asa, and it's this actual smaller dude who kind of looks like a real looking old midget looking dude, but he's skilled. And so he's basically in charge of disposing of the bodies and making sure that Manji is kind of in line for these surgeries and stuff. And if Manji decides to like pull a fast one, he's there. They're both there to just kind of make sure that no funny business happens, and so we get a little bit of, as things kind of shifting back to Rin, we get a little bit more of a dive into Izaku and Do, and we get to see how they kind of come to be. And Izaku has like an attachment to her. just seeing that she's just kind of orphaned, like always been very skilled with the sword. And so they just go off traveling. And he seems to be like a foreigner. Izaku is just a name that Do ended up giving him just because she couldn't really say his real name. And so they both just kind of name each other because she wants to get rid of her child name. And she's like, you know, you're an adult, give me an adult name. And so he gives her Tao. And then we later on change it into Do. And so you could see where their bond and their attachment is. And so Rin is kind of getting them in on what they need, basically telling her plan and what she's going to do. She figures out and tells her, like, I know that you guys are Itouryu. And so, you know, like the fact that I'm even letting you guys stay at my house is just, you know, like basically there's a little bit of a trust built. I know your master. And so they do get a run in with some guards, local guards that are inside of the village. And you get to see Do in action, and she just kills these guys with the quickness. And there are more guards that are coming, and Izaku does what he can, and he just basically flings Rin off and Do into the river just to basically save them. And so now it becomes more of a rescue mission with Rin and Do, because they both have two members that that midget is no joke. It's true, man. Bleeding Star, I know you're watching, baby. And so they are now coming up with a plan to basically free their men, their companions. And so they get some inside intel, basically using force. They go and they gather supplies. They are camping out to see if Inosuke is in the prison, and they figure out that he's not there. So they know something further is kind of going on. And then they break into the HQ. They defeat some warriors. And you guys, I can't speak enough about the female presence of the warrior in this anime. You guys, I mean, Do, for such a young child, she just really goes at it. And you can tell like Rin is kind of absorbing some of Rin's like kind of warrior spirit, because we get to see Rin kind of getting a little gritty and starting to mature from, where we see her in the beginning, even in, kind of the second part of this anime, into what we're seeing now. And Rin is starting to get real gritty with it. Yes, there is a lot of heart in this. And especially with episode 17, there's just so much going on. We get to see Rin and Do just kind of going at it with all these guys. They do get captured, and they're going to get a lashing. Rin decides, like, I'll take the lashing because this girl, she just is holding my weapons and whatnot. And Do acts fast. She kills the guys that are just whipping Rin, and they kind of continue on. But once they get past a certain point, they start to smell the dead bodies, and they go in to take a further look, and they see Izaku's dead body just lying there with the rest of them. And Do just has a moment and tells Rin, you know what, like, you need to go on without me, press on. And so Rin, she finds this little manhole, and she kind of crawls through there. This is taking us into I believe this is taking us into episode 17. So we're getting to see how she further goes in deep into the kind of like prison area. She gets some guards, she gets their keys, and she basically, holds them with the blades and says, if you guys don't tell me, where the keys are, you guys are all going to get it. And so they willingly give her the keys. She pursues on, and she finds Manji, you guys. And as she's going to let him out, the doctor just comes in and puts a little bit of a fight, but he's a doctor, and he's not going to even Rin just kind of beats him up until we get more guys. You guys, Habaki himself comes in, and he is he's ready to just take them both out. Manji is coming too. He takes this little hairpiece that Diwanosuke had given to him, and he tosses it right in Habaki's eye. And what he had done, which was pretty tricky, he had it kind of within his body that was able to absorb some of this, the anesthesia that the doctor had used on Manji. And so it basically knocks the doctor out. Asa the Beheader comes in. We got Rin, Manji, the bodyguard. Dao shows up, and it's just an all-out war, you guys. And Dao is just about to get it, and we get a surprise character, you guys. I was just my jaw dropped when I saw Izaku is alive and well somehow, even though his corpse was dead. Dead as a doorknob, you guys, just cut up, shriveled, and so it seems as though that the doctor somehow was, with this findings, with certain limbs kind of put together, that's able to reanimate the body. And so, Dao gets her man back, Rin gets her man back. That's right.
Look at Binja, the Beheader. Binja.
That's right. Binja, the Beheader, yo.
Yeah, you don't mess with her, man.
Nah, you don't, man. She's going to get you.
She's been dubbed.
There's a lot of killing going on. The underground prison is basically getting flooded. You got the prisoners going free. The villagers are happy. Water starting to come in heavily inside the containment place, the prison. And we get to see another character that really threw me for a loop. A few episodes ago, we got to see one of the members of the Ichiryu who had a son, Renzo. Renzo is somehow in the mix. He's inside that, that prison, and he's got his kabuki mask, the fox mask. And, he's with another character who he's just like a bad penny that just, he just doesn't go away. Shira makes a return, you guys. He's just basically, handless. And he is somehow, he found Renzo somehow, and Renzo is just kind of following him. So it's not looking good on that side of things, you guys, because we still have Shira to kind of worry about. And this taking us into our final episode, which is an episode that honestly, you guys, that just it has so much going on. We get to see Habaki. He survives all of this. He basically gets demoted down. The shogunate is basically replacing him with another guy named Ugen. He's not fully forgetting about Habaki, but he's basically on the ropes. This guy's got basically 30 minutes or 30 days to live to basically hunt the Ichiryu down before the shogunate. It just basically says, okay, after that, like, your life is mine. All your members are done. Habaki forms a new group called the Rokidan. Few members here and there, but they're strength in numbers, so they do got some warriors with them, and they're just going on the hunt. And the new officer, Ugen, has a meeting with Anatsu, asking him, look, if the shogunate wants you guys out of here, if you guys do not get out of here, out of Edo, there's going to be calamity on your guys' head. We got 12 companies, 12 armies that are basically going to be coming and gunning for you guys. So it's your choice. And Anatsu is like, thinking about it. And some of the women that are with Ugen are they're armed, armed to the teeth. And Anatsu doesn't come alone. He came with his girl Maki, and just one glare from Maki, you guys, sets these chicks off. Like, they're backing up, they're like, my bad, Maki. Like, we didn't know you were that ill. And so, Anatsu agrees to leaving Edo, and he says, we'll be gone in 7 days. And in all actuality, this is all just flim flam, you guys. Anatsu ain't leaving his turf. He's basically running, having them chase their tails. The Rokidan, Habaki's new group, goes and invades the headquarters that had been burned down by Anatsu himself. They find their underground thing. They defeat a bunch of their kind of flunkies, if you will. We get a new character kind of brought in by the name of Rio. It's Habaki's daughter from another life that he had. And so they're just not skilled enough to take out the Ichiryu. And so towards the end of this, we see that Habaki is faced with Ugen. in the snow, and they're basically going to they're going to execute him. And Habaki's wife and son is there basically to watch this, and they stop it real quick so that they could get some final words in, the son to the father, his wife to her husband. And it just goes crazy, you guys. My jaw dropped when I saw this too. The wife and the son are basically, you know, kind of bringing honor to him and saying, you know, I'm sorry that I was not as skilled with the sword as you were, father. You know, I feel like I'm basically disgracing our good name. And so for that, you know, like I just kind of basically have my life for yours. And the wife just comes around with the blade and says, you know, I know that there was a girl that kind of came into our defense from these officers, and I know that she's yours. And so, you know, like she's obviously bringing honor to your name, and we want to continue that. In order to do that, we feel like we're basically going to have to give our lives. And so in very samurai style fashion, the wife slits her son's throat. She, you know, gives the knife to herself, and Habaki is just, you know, he just didn't want this. And so he's basically now further, you know, with this, he's further devoted to just getting the Ichiryu. And he says, if I cannot get them, if Anatsu is still alive within these next couple of days, I will kill all of the Rokidan, and I will go straight to the Shogunate, straight to Edo, and I will get. Do you guys watch Fate Stay Night? I have watched some of that series, not that one in particular. I have watched Fate Zero though, legendary anime JP fan 2. So I am in the know. So I do enjoy those animes. And so yeah, there is a lot of gray area in here, Bleeding Star. You know, and it just further adds to the lore of all of this. You know, it just makes it very intriguing, very confusing at times, but you know, it's definitely worth watching, you guys. And with all of that, that just wraps up part 3, you guys. It just leaves you know, with I don't know, just so many different feelings, you know. And so I'm eager to see what the next episodes are going to bring, because this is going to tie it up, you guys. You know, so I appreciate you guys just being a part of this with the, you know, with Blade of the Immortal. You know, I hope you guys, if you haven't watched it, definitely please do. You know,
check it out. Amazon Prime.
That's right, baby. That's right.
You guys will not be, you know, like, this is an amazing anime. I dig it. I like the animation, the story, you know, just like to Eric's point. Yeah, there are some gray areas, but I think there's more story that's really, really involved, and you really get caught up in it. It's just so dope.
Yes. Strongly agree, my friend. But, you know, with, let's see, doing homage to Akira cover.
And shout out to Nick, man. What's going on, Nick?
What's up, Nick?
Damn.
Thank you for that. But, you know, with that being said, Steve, like, what do we got going on, you know, with the rest of the week?
Oh man, dude, we got introspective coming at you, right? We got Wednesday night introspective coming at you. You know, our girl Michelle last week, if you didn't watch last week's show, she took a whooping.
She did
all them boys. She's like, hold my beer. Yeah, no. So
I think she brought it. She
brought the heat. She brought the heat.
She did.
You know, so we still got people voting, and within that, you guys, if you guys haven't voted, I would recommend voting. You can comment on the video, and you can get yourself added vote in there. I would say, oh, what's going on, Lord Chuck says we're at the BLCC.
What's
you know,
up,
I would say, I mean, it's definitely worth your time. I'm Batman. It's definitely worth your time to go ahead and you know, vote. Go ahead and check the show out. It brings the fun in speculating, y'all. And those who have gathered points will be going in. You guys have a choice to go in or not. But this is a great show. I think Alonzo and the guys are doing something special. It brings the fun in specking and speculating, because everything's supposed to be fun. But to get a game show and to add that twist to really kind of get your noodle moving and to kind of get that speculating bug out there, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity. So, and it brings community building. So we want people from the community coming in and, you know, getting your introspective view with the introspective crew. I mean, that's all I got to say. Then we got Thursday, man. We got Thursday, the anime, etc. We had Brother Rudy. We had Something Wong, our other brother. we gotta top it off with the
Well,
cherry
of
on top
course.
with the anime, etc. Yo,
That's right. The sun
right?
and that's right, baby.
Yeah,
We got
man.
to get the sun and the anime
Yeah.
up in there,
Oh
you
man.
know.
So it's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be dope. We got mad things in the works. You know, we also got this Friday. We got, you know, the CBSI show, my favorite. You know,
Mhm.
Big Rob picked the topic. So we're gonna go ahead and let that simmer. We'll go ahead and get those thumbnails out so that you guys are reminded. But be on the
Right.
ready for that. And then we close out for Sunday, top picks of the week, man.
Gotta
You
love
know,
it.
your boy will be coming back with dropping the mic, finally back from vacation.
There you
Sin
go.
City did not treat him so well as far as his pocketbook. But you know, we went to go see some comic book shops. I got some digging done. Met up with HK Wifey 420 and Battle Panda Liz. Shout out to Battle Panda Liz. She is recovering from surgery, so you guys wish her well in her speedy recovery. She is fan bam to the Team Nerd Herd podcast, as well as X11 Bravo. I got your six,
Right.
my brother. And then other than that, man, I mean, I'm glad to be back, man. I missed everybody in the community out here. I know I was incognito and did not get a chance to post. I didn't bring boxes of comics with me, but I missed everybody. I was there in spirit. Also enjoying time with family. So family always first. Glad to be
Mhm.
back, full throttle, and that's it, man. I think we've gotten everything. Oh,
That's
and
right.
watch
That's
everybody's
right.
rewinds from this past week. So yesterday on to Saturday with the spine takes, on to Friday, you know, with the low grades, man. There was
Yep.
tons of shows going on. I was still, you know, watching shows and enjoying your guys' content. So I just that I mean, I'm on vacation. I'm still watching shows. I mean, that's how much I missed you guys. I mean, I can't be away, guys. So
You know, I
I'm
feel
glad to be
like,
back.
and being able to just listen to you guys like on the road, you know, like how you were saying with the low grades, you know, and spine takes, you know, like I feel like I always just pop in there and, you know that you're definitely going to get a laugh, you guys. Uh, so yes, we definitely, there's shows on shows on shows, and with the community always just being, so enthusiastic about certain
Yeah, man.
topics, certain animes, all these things, we just really do appreciate you guys just being in here and just talking shop with us, you guys. So,
That's right,
much
Joker.
love to
That's
you
right.
guys. We
That's
appreciate
right, baby. Bang, bang. Dude, this community is on fire, man. There's been a lot going on. Everybody has been ramped up. So let's just lift each other up. Let's go ahead and support
That's right.
our channels that are out there, man. Everyone has like so much that they're putting out right now, man. I love sitting back and watching my peers. I love the things that I don't know and the things that they're bringing on to the table, and certain things that I might have missed on shows, because I mean, your boy might be 5 inches to the wind or cloud surfing, and you guys are always giving me some great information. So much love again to the community. And
Madness.
definitely go ahead and subscribe to Brandon over at Looney Tunes Tasmanian Devil. Yeah. Someone needs to clip that shit. No, don't.
Me.
Yeah, me. But much love, you guys.
Thank you, Bleeding Star.
I'm glad to be back. Eric, you've done a great job, man. I love this. I love just. My bad for not talking. All I could do is sit back, watch the show, and enjoy like the way you paint that picture, man. I mean,
No. Next time I'll ask you what your thoughts are, man. I
no,
feel
no,
like
no, 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 because
there's
your boy was
so
on
much
vacation, so he
enrichment.
only watched a little bit.
Yeah, there's only so much, I just felt like it just really did pull in
My
a
man Kamaro
very
too.
linear direction. So it was pretty straightforward with, especially with just like all the surgeries that was going on, all the madness, so yeah, a lot going on there, but again, Steve and I would like to thank you guys, everybody from the Team Nerd Herd podcast. You guys are great. Thank you.
Much
Thank
love,
you so
guys.
much for all this, you guys. And, hit us up on IG. We love, I know I love conversing with you guys with all sorts of things, like anime, manga, all of those things. And, I think this community as a whole, you guys just knock it out the park. So thank you guys once again.
Yeah, man. And I'm looking at Alonso's comments as well. Shout outs to also my boy Chamar over at the PCP Army. Woo! Just dude, Whiplash Wednesday. You know, you got Big Fable, you got TM Nerdy, man. Just all these shows, man. Just support them, man. Let's lift it up, man. Let's just get it on to the new year. My shout outs to my man Cryo too. My man Cryo be loving himself some toys. So I want to make it perfectly apparent, guys. Just shout outs to our community. So
Yeah.
we are on fire. We are ready to go forward, man. And let's just go ahead and put some good content and support each other. So, Eric, you want to go ahead and take us out?
That's right, you guys. Well, thank you guys once again. And again, just remember the motto: if you guys want to do it right, anime for life.
Oh, live.
Inside, y'all. Thanks for coming.
Much love, y'all.